South Korean Navy and Coast Guard boats circled the capsized Sewol ferry on April 16, 2014. The 6,800-ton ship went down, taking 304 lives with it. If this story matters to you, hit like and subscribe, and stay until the end. On that morning, the ferry MV Sewol was carrying 476 people, mostly high school students heading on a class trip from Incheon to Jeju Island. Early news reports gave a false relief. Everyone was safe. Hours later, the truth hit. Hundreds were still trapped inside. In the end, 304 people died, most of them teenagers. The sinking of Sewol is still one of South Korea's worst disasters, and a wound that hasn't healed. But beyond the heartbreak, the Sewol disaster revealed secrets, scandals, and unanswered questions. Investigations exposed negligence, corruption, and hidden deals. Yet many facts are still disputed or sealed away. This story looks at 5 secrets that sank with the Sewol, all real, documented, and told with respect for the victims and families. Secret 1. The cause nobody can prove. At first, the government said the cause was clear: illegal redesigns, too much cargo, too little ballast water. In 2014, investigators found that the ferry had been rebuilt to carry more passengers and freight, but its balance got worse. When the overloaded Sewol made a sharp turn, the cargo shifted. The ship leaned too far and capsized. This overloading and greed explanation was accepted for months. But questions didn't go away. Why did the crew make that sharp turn at all? If a turn caused the sinking, we should know why it happened. But nobody can answer that, said Yoo Kyung-gyun, who speaks for the victims' families. In 2015, a court even suggested an engine failure might be the real reason. In 2017, after the wreck was raised from the seabed, a new investigation began under President Moon. But after more than a year, the panel admitted they still couldn't say what exactly sank Sewol. Yonhap News Agency reported the panel's conclusion: "We failed to find the exact cause, leaving unanswered questions." Some experts said the calm sea that day made it unlikely the ship could sink so fast from a simple turn alone. Theories spread. Maybe the ferry hit a hidden object underwater. Maybe its structure failed. No proof, no single answer. A decade later, families still want to know what really happened below the waterline. Secret 2. The President's Missing 7 Hours. One of the biggest mysteries is called the 7-hour gap. When Sewol was sinking, then-President Park Geun-hye was missing from public view for about 7 hours, exactly when hundreds needed urgent help. She stayed inside her private rooms at the Blue House. She got written reports and, according to her office, gave instructions by phone. But she didn't appear in public or lead any command meeting until late afternoon. By then, the ferry was gone. A year later, a court called this a failure of leadership. But it got stranger. With no clear timeline, rumors spread. One lawmaker accused Park of having cosmetic surgery that morning. Local media reported that a top hairdresser spent 90 minutes with Park while the rescue was happening. Park's office admitted a visit, but said it was only 20 minutes. Other rumors claimed she was sedated or doing a ritual with her spiritual advisor Choi Tae-min. Park denied it all, saying, "There are rumors I am in a cult. That is not true." In late 2016, during Park's impeachment scandal, lawmakers added the missing hours to her list of charges. After she was removed, families demanded the full records of what she did that day. But her administration's logs were sealed as presidential archives for up to 30 years. Some court battles to open them failed. To this day, the truth is locked away. For the victims' families, the missing hours are a symbol, a reminder that faster action from the very top might have saved lives. If you're still here, tap like and share. Help keep stories like this alive. Secret 3. Hidden cargo and a military connection. Another secret came out years later. The ferry carried military construction materials. In 2016, an investigation found that the Sewol had over 400 tons of iron beams, with 278 tons bound for a new naval base on Jeju Island. The ferry was already overloaded, more than double its limit. Many say this secret shipment made it worse. The night Sewol left Incheon, other ships stayed in port because of bad weather. But Sewol sailed on. Some believe it was pushed to meet deadlines for the base. South Korea's National Intelligence Service, NIS, adds another twist. The Sewol was the only civilian ferry that had to report its movements to the NIS. Phone records show the ferry company spoke to NIS agents during and after the sinking. Documents from when Sewol was bought show an NIS agent's name on the refit papers. The Hankyoreh, a major Korean paper, asked, did the NIS pressure the company to carry heavy loads for the base project, ignoring safety? When first asked, the government could not confirm if naval base cargo was on board. Later, the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries admitted they had the records all along, but hadn't shared them with the first Sewol Commission. Investigators had to dig it up themselves. Why does it matter? Because it suggests government pressure may have added to the overloading, not just greed. Professor Lim Nam-gyun of Mokpo Maritime University said the ship's final tilt made sense only if extra hidden weight was included. Lawmaker Hwang Ju-hong said, even the government is not free of responsibility for overloading the Sewol. To this day, there's never been a full investigation into this military cargo angle. Another truth left on the seafloor. Secret 4. The cult leader who owned Sewol. Another piece of this tragedy is the strange man behind the ferry company, Yoo Byung-yoon. He ran the company through layers of family and church connections. He was also a leader of the Evangelical Baptist Church, often called the Salvation Sect, considered by many a cult. Yoo had a criminal past, fraud charges in the 90s, links to a bizarre 1987 mass suicide. He lived in hiding, made art under fake names, and was called the millionaire with no face. After Sewol sank, prosecutors said Yoo and his family siphoned company money while ignoring safety training and ship upkeep. The company cut corners to stay profitable at the cost of its passengers. An arrest warrant was issued. Korea's biggest manhunt began. 9,000 police searched. Yoo's followers guarded his hiding spots, singing hymns and vowing to protect him. But by summer 2014, Yoo was dead. A farmer found his decomposed body under a tree. Weeks before the police confirmed it was him. He lay with bottles of soju and shark oil nearby. No clear cause of death. No foul play confirmed. No trial. Yoo's eldest son was caught and jailed for embezzlement. Some regulators also went to prison, but Yoo himself escaped court, taking secrets of money, cult ties, and hidden deals with him to the grave. Secret 5. Misinformation and smears. The last secret is about cover-ups and spin after the tragedy. Early reports falsely said all kids were safe, but when the truth came out, the Coast Guard was blamed for a slow, disorganized rescue. Shockingly, private fishing boats saved more people than the official rescue did. Yet no senior Coast Guard leader ever faced charges for negligence. Later, families discovered that parts of the government tried to smear them. South Korea's Defense Security Command and the NIS spied on parents and labeled them political agitators. The Blue House secretly helped right-wing media spread stories that grieving parents were only after money. As The Diplomat reported in 2021, this wasn't just rumor. Documents showed the smear campaign started the day after the ferry sank. Families found themselves not only mourning, but fighting lies too. They protested for years. Under President Park, the first Sewol investigation was cut short. Only after she was impeached did a new probe raise the wreck and reopen questions. But the core questions still remain. Today, some Koreans have grown tired of the topic. But for the families, the yellow ribbons mean one thing. Don't let the truth sink. To this day, 5 victims' bodies are still in the sea. Sewol is not just a sunken ship. It's a story of unanswered questions and truths left underwater. We looked at 5 secrets: an unclear cause, a president's lost hours, hidden cargo, a cult leader's role, and deliberate cover-ups. Each one is real. Each one is a reminder that tragedy grows when truth is buried. South Korea did change. Safety laws improved, citizens learned to demand answers, and public anger helped bring down a president. But the fight isn't over. As the Hankyoreh wrote, "We can't bury the truth of Sewol. 304 souls deserve every answer. This was dead quiet. Don't go missing."
Dead quiet.
New stories every week. Subscribe if you're still here.